All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode.
Yeah.
Brain versus the universe.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Yeah,
Shoot.
we out here, man.
As you already know, hit that catchphrase real quick, Ty.
The universe is not only stranger than we imagine, it is stranger than we can imagine.
Yes,
J.B.S.
sir.
Haldane.
Yes.
Geneticist.
Sir.
Yes.
As you can see, you have myself here, Victor. You have my boy Cole to the left of me. You got my boy Ty to the right of me. Of
Yeah,
course,
That's me.
please be in the chat. Go ahead and send us some information. See what you be thinking, how you feeling today, as well as like and subscribe to Outside In Theater. They're going to be helping us with this podcast as well, so we want to make sure we're showing support to them as well. Also, if we have any chats, I'll go ahead and send those out to you guys. But outside of that, how's everybody feeling today?
Hey, go ahead, Ty.
all right.
Yeah,
I'm great. I'm checking the stream, guys. Just checking to see if when we go.
Yeah.
But I'm great, yo. I had another really good week. I'll be honest. I got a little frustrated about midway through this shit. There we go. There we go. We live. I had a bit of a frustrating week. I'm in the client growth process. I'm building a client list, which is it's annoying. It's a pain in the ass starting from scratch. But
sales sucks.
sales
What are you talking
sucks.
about, man?
Yes. But growing slowly but surely. Happy with my progress so far. So yeah, it was a good week, and we got even more opportunities that have arisen this past week. These ships just keep rising, man.
Everything's being put into place.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Things
Real
are moving.
gangsters moving silence, man.
Things are moving.
G's moving silence like lasagna.
Go, what's been going on with you, man?
Oh, man, I've been just staying busy. Yeah, no, a week or two is just blown by. It doesn't feel like any time's happened. Although it does, I don't feel that way necessarily.
Yeah.
I feel, I come home and I took a nap. And I told Ty, I said, yeah, man. He said, yeah, we're getting old.
Yeah.
We're gonna start sounding more and more like our fathers over time.
That's a
Little
fact.
by little.
As
I'm
time
starting to
goes.
You
notice
know
that
what?
way
I need
more
to-
and more.
I need my mind to work tonight.
Yeah.
So let me get 2 or 3 hours in real quick.
Get this nap real quick. All right.
Oh, man. All right, so
Here we
let's
go.
go ahead and drop on into the first
Jesus.
topic, the first BVU of the day.
All right.
It's going to be a touchy one this time. Let's see what we get.
So listen. All right. I've wanted to talk about this topic for a while now. This is a very regular topic that the three of us discuss in this apartment, and I sincerely feel that people should hear this. It is a touchy subject. We're going to talk about race, boys and girls.
Ooh.
Race in America
Ooh, that must.
in 2021. The worst race relations would be, I would
Who's this
say,
black son of a bitch think he is?
There we go.
Damn, he talks too much.
I would say the worst race relations have been since 1991, but I'll come back around to that. So my topic is, my brain says white folks should leave rap music alone. If you're not a part of and love this culture in the first place. There are plenty of white people out there who love rap music, who breathe rap music, who know more about rap music than I do, even. No issue whatsoever with any of those people. I love rap music. I love people who love rap music, period. So again, my brain says that white people who are not about hip-hop culture should leave hip-hop culture alone. The universe clearly disagrees with me. Ready?
Give us yours then.
Ready, boys?
Let's go.
All right. So, circa 1988.
We going back.
Yes.
Okay.
NWA. Niggas with attitude.
Prime examples.
Straight out of Compton. In 1988, or I guess I really should start with the 80s. Ronald Reagan's war on drugs was going full steam ahead. They were rolling tanks through Compton with assault rifles and flamethrowers and knocking people's homes over.
Yeah.
In Compton. Again, in the war on drugs. It looked more like a war on black folks, I would argue. And I do mean war. I'm using war intentionally. It was a military-style takeover that occurred in Compton at that time. You'll hear Kendrick Lamar rap about this a lot on Section 80, Ronald Reagan era. The dysfunctional bastards of the Ronald Reagan era is what he refers to as black men from that area who were growing up at that time.
Yeah.
1988 rolls around,
Mm-hmm.
and a select group had enough. NWA came out with Fuck the Police.
Uh-huh.
We look back on Fuck the Police with a little bit of, I don't think we look back on it for what it really was. Which was, Fuck the Police was culture shock, I think, for a lot of white people. Definitely. It shifted an entire genre.
Right.
Gangster rap reared
its
ugly head, and they haven't been able to get rid of it since.
No.
And in response to Fuck the Police, at the time, you'll see videos on YouTube. There's a great documentary about NWA on YouTube. It's like an hour and some change long. And you'll see clips in there of white conservatives going into CD stores, purchasing all the NWA CDs, which is next level dedication to destroying something, by the way. Being willing to part with hundreds of dollars in 1988.
Right. You think we're cheap, we'll show you.
Yeah. Being willing to part with hundreds of dollars to purchase the CDs, bring them outside, and in a socio-political display, destroy them all. Take a bat or crowbar, whatever they had, some rocks, and destroy these CDs because we can't let this kind of language get out there. What they're saying here, this is wrong. We can't have this. Fast forward. 2021 rolls around. A few months ago, a certain legend named DMX passed away. And I proceeded to watch white liberals, specifically, bring up some select lines in DMX's music that were unsavory, we'll say. Some negative comments he made about the LGBT community in Where the Hood At. Now, Where the Hood At came out in 2001, one of the most famous rap songs ever, one of DMX's biggest records, right? Where the Hood At. I found it interesting watching all these white liberals comment on this one line in Where the Hood At. It's at the very end of the first verse. The entirety of the rest of the first verse and the second verse is mostly about gun violence. So, the gun violence thing is one of the more, hey, my brother in here, shout out to Chad. What's up, Bo?
What's going on, Chad?
What's going on, Chad? The gun violence is an interesting piece of this to me because I've never one time heard a white person or white liberals specifically talk about what we in rap circles call stick talk, which is, I would say, probably, if I'm being conservative, a good 70% of rap content now is about guns.
Go a little bit higher.
You think it's higher?
I'm going about 80, 85.
You would put it at 80? I'm not
80,
I can't disagree with 80, 85%.
Yeah.
Even conscious rappers, quote unquote,
Still
like
pull that
Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, so many shells left on the ground, it'd make the Easter Bunny proud.
Exactly.
You know, like these guys talk about guns all the time. I'm convinced white liberals don't really know what they're listening to, but that's a different subject.
Yeah.
Right.
So my question for you, Cole, is why do you think they skip the gun violence in rap music? Why do you think they skip? Why do you think they duck because what we're talking about is not just gun violence, but it's black on black crime.
Right.
Right? Black on black violence. They won't touch that.
It's a very specific in-house fighting that if you just read the tabloids, you'd think it's not a real thing to talk about. Right? Because but it's not because they're trying to protect black people. I don't think that's what it is. I think it would
so either, man.
it would look bad is the problem. But anyway, I want you to finish your question for me.
But that was it. Why do you think white liberals are willing to comment on the we'll call it discussing women as though they're disposable, one, and two, any, homophobic comments. They will attack rap on those matters, but whereas, again, that's maybe 5 to 10% of rap content, maybe. Probably less than that. The other 70 to 80 is gun violence. Why are they comfortable talking about those and not the gun violence?
I mean, my position would be twofold. One, most of my liberal friends, they don't spend much time talking about guns at all. So when they do talk about guns, it sounds like they're talking about a foreign body in your kneecap or something. It's just so awkward, right? And then they don't want to commit the cardinal sin of crossing the line in which they think their culture has nothing maybe to add, although I would argue that it's not it's not as innocent as it sounds either, because you're still going to use that culture for other motives to push certain agendas. And again, I think it's fair that you pointed out the Reagan administration in '88, because that is a prime example of how it doesn't really matter who's in charge or who's in the office. Most of the laws and the pre-ideas in society are the same exact ones they had before this new election or the next election.
Right.
So that's important to. I feel like we're at a point in this country that we're like the medieval church. We think demons have caused everything, that there's something that needs to be exorcised. We need to bring back the witch trials. Something's array. Something's foul here, and it's deeper than just people. It's something really, really under the surface.
So,
go ahead.
What do you think this less than innocent motive really is?
Less than here's the thing, because I feel like everyone has their weak spots and they don't know them, otherwise they'd work on them. And I would argue that sometimes when you think you're speaking for sometimes when you think you're speaking for the times in which you live in and how all of history will then proceed, every action, both present and in the future, of ideas that you have in your mind, all those actions in time should be weighed to be found just. That's in their mind. They're doing this because it's on the right side of what we say, cliche in a way, the right side of history.
Yeah.
And I would argue that it starts there. It starts there. But I'm not a utopian, so my position is every human belief system that gets too lofty in its ambitions will fail.
I agree. Chad says because they're making money on the music. He thinks there's some.
Oh, that's part of it for sure.
Some type of,
big time.
Of a conspiracy that they're okay with black men talking about shooting each other.
As long as
it comes with $1. I'm not mad at that take at all. And I think that's probably some of it. But I think the real reason here, the one that we're getting at here, is
sin.
White savior syndrome. I think that's what was happening with those white conservatives in '88. We're going to save these poor black people, these poor Negroes from themselves. They don't know what they're doing, Susan. They don't know. The police are good people. They are. No, Karen, they need to hear this. Seriously. Buy the CDs. Break them. I think the same thing that Susan and Karen were doing in 1988, Becky and Karen are doing in 2021. Yeah. We're going to save these poor Negroes from themselves. And y'all need to know we're not interested in your help.
Nope.
I don't know that white liberals, they're not privy to these conversations, these kinds of conversations that we have. I can tell oftentimes that, I'm sitting there talking about rap or whatever it might be to a white liberal, and I go, you don't know any black people, clearly, based on everything I've heard you say. You don't even know how off you are on the matters of, you think black people, you tell me, any black people sitting around talking about race with, close family members and friends, other black people, saying, man, you know what? You know what, man? Those white conservatives, nah, don't fuck with them. Don't like them. Don't support it. Not a fan. But white liberals, yeah. They got it figured out.
Right.
No black person has ever said that.
No, has never uttered those words.
Yeah.
Like,
Stop patting yourselves on the back. You
Yes.
need to stop.
Mhm.
You need to stop. And then again, you're this cancel culture stuff is now starting to creep its way into rap music. And again, when I hear them talking about the content in rap, I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And also, are you sure the content you think you're listening to is what you're actually listening to? As I said, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole talk about guns. They ain't never shot nobody.
No.
They're never going to. They don't want to.
Mm-mm.
It's rap music. It's entertainment.
It is.
Guys.
Primarily,
it's
that's all it
entertainment.
is.
Primarily.
It's-
And nobody consuming the music agrees with everything that they hear in those songs. You know the amount of wild shit rappers say on a regular, it's constant. Constant. I shudder to think what some of these people how they would react if they saw a rap battle. You know how ugly rap battles get? But again, this is why I feel like I've not receded but gone further towards battle rap, because your opponent is intentionally trying to upset you, and if they succeed, you lose the battle.
Yeah. At any point, if you show any emotion.
If you start getting upset and responding, talking while the other
Done.
guy's rapping, you lose the battle.
Yeah.
Look at him, emotional.
Yep.
We're going to put that on the soundboard. Look at him, emotional. You're going to get this work.
Yep.
That loaded looks action.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I went on a bit of a rant there. But ultimately, that's my point. If you know, y'all know, they know, to stay away from the black on black crime topic in rap music. They know not to touch it.
Right.
I would like it if you met all of hip hop with that same level of, I don't know
Where to go in this.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna
You know,
touch it.
I'm out of my depth in these waters.
Yeah.
These are topics that I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever spent time in one of these neighborhoods where these guys are from? No.
Right. Right.
No. You've been living in Los Angeles 20 years and you haven't stepped foot in Compton because you're scared to death of them Negroes over there too.
Shoot, that close, you barely even get to Inglewood. You stay in Culver City at the most.
One of the first places I went was to Inglewood and Compton.
Yep.
I needed to go. They're the only place with black hair care products.
That's where your people at.
They're the only place with black hair care
That's where the
products.
people
I
at.
have to go.
Yeah.
You went to some barbershops in Burbank, and it was too. Everyone was
Ooh.
like, "Hey, can we? I want to argue right now. We got some shit to get down to. I don't want to.
Like, you guys have never been to a barbershop.
Yeah.
You don't know how this conversation goes.
But again, like, there are conversations that black people have when it's just us in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Very much so. It's very different.
Just period.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, a lot of white liberals make certain assumptions about these communities. And again, like, for example, a friend of mine, there was a Juicy J song playing on the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I really don't like the way he talks about women.
Mm.
I said, okay, fair enough. I feel like that's reasonable to feel that way. But let's talk more about this later. When I feel like I got some stuff that might change how you feel about this matter.
Yeah.
So later on, I showed her a verse from a song called Love Again, Run the Jewels, featuring Gangsta Boo. Gangsta Boo is from Memphis.
Yep.
Juicy J is also from Memphis. Gangsta Boo starts this verse off by saying, I had a young player from the hood, licked my pussy real good, kept me stuck with lots of wood.
Mm-hmm.
And it only gets more vulgar
as it
from
goes.
there. The chorus of this song is, I had my clit in his mouth all day. I had my clit in his mouth all day.
Yep. Repeat it one more time.
Clit in his mouth all day. That's how the song goes.
Yep.
And towards the end of the verse, she shouts out Memphis. I'm a Memphis bitch, is something to that effect, right? I said, this is what content from Memphis sounds like.
Yes.
Juicy J speaks like that about women because that's
what it is. That's
Memphis hip hop is the most sexualized content you're going to get in all of rap because that's what they rap about in that region. When you're listening to a rap song, you're getting a little peek into these neighborhoods. So before you start talking about, the way they speak or the language or the vulgarity, or I don't like how they talk about, like, just think it over for a second.
Right.
Please.
Well, I think.
Because y'all going to piss me off for real one of these days, and I'm going to lose it.
So can I ask this? Is the complaint, I know it's probably both of these things, but what aggravates you more? Someone who just doesn't know what they don't know, and then they jump into the subject with that particular, they're on this particular side of the spectrum of ideas, and they jump into the arena and they're just idiots. Or the people that do know what's going on that kind of make sure that playing ground, you're talking about something that's very relevant right now, the so-called cancel culture.
Yes.
Right. And I would argue that it's not just I mean, that one's the easiest point to make. But I had a similar discussion with someone who, I'm not going to mention their names, got a lot of love for them. But we were talking about mental health. And the moment I said anything about, like, men coming in from the overseas with PTSD, specifically for military purposes, this conversation got very callous, in my opinion. It turned more into, well, we don't want to over inflate too much interest in that as a mental health phenomenon. We know that. The government should take care of its people. What we need to talk about is everyone else in the country, specifically those who might harm others. And I said, yeah, that's important. But, boy, you've got some very specific ways to handle mental health.
Yeah.
It's like handling race a certain way.
Yeah.
Why are you making caveats for certain things? It's clearly, that's what I mean when it's not entirely innocent. But I'm not sure, again, I'm not a utopian. I fundamentally think that humans are fallen creatures who can never get out of their own way.
Bunch of dirty
At
animals.
best, we can come up with the right. I ask my friends all the time, what's your justification for human equality and values? I actually mean that, because I think that the answers coming from your mouth might be far more alarming than the ones you think I possess. You might say some stuff that leads to utter nihilism.
Yes.
And often does.
Yeah.
Anarchy. I mean, the evidence and the history of Eastern and Western philosophy agrees with me on this point. This is a very, I don't know, and I don't like, just one more pushback here. I don't like the word liberal white, because I think liberals, I don't think it's a fair shake. Because a liberal person is just someone who has an open mind. I would say if you're progressive, meaning you have certain, let's say you have a church you worship in that has a certain creed of things that you're supposed to be on, a sort of commandment-based system. In my opinion, it's kind of out there in the cultural zeitgeist, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
I want to put on a stone, that way everyone can know what they're doing when they step into, I want to know where the landmines are. Yeah. Everyone does.
Yeah.
And the goalpost is moving, so, I mean, it's in 20 years, you're going to be really seeing a situation where I don't know what the discussions are going to be like if we have discussions. If we keep it this rate, there won't be discussions.
Yes. Yeah. Well, on your cancel culture point, I mean, they're welcome to try it, but I'm sorry, it's not going to work. Not in rap. It's not going to work. It just won't. You want to do that? You want to, do that? Go take your ass to the Miley Cyrus concert. That's totally fine. You're welcome. But in rap circles over here, rap from its inception, from its birth, has been in your face. It has been rebellious. It's been disrespectful. It's been a big middle finger to the man, so to speak.
Right.
It must be that way. And so, again, when now rap and let's use You want to use progressives instead? I think that's a fair point about maybe not classifying it
Right.
as white, because
Yeah.
I'm talking about
I
a
know
very
what you're saying,
specific
yeah.
kind of person that you find in Los Angeles, California.
No,
I meet a
I'm-
white liberal in Texas. I'm
Right.
not, totally different, completely different thing.
Right. I just the word liberal. I think just it means everyone that's not conservative by definition is goofy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a confusion that I know exactly what you mean. We talk about these things. This has become more and more frustrating for me because again. But you got a great point on this. I just want you to know that.
Thank you. To answer your question about which frustrates me more, I can't stand when people speak with, I call it unearned arrogance, speaking with confidence and assuredness on a matter that you don't know anything about. Again, like you people from outside of hip hop view hip hop as just another music genre, and to people like myself, especially black males from these kinds of neighborhoods, hip-hop music is not just a beat and some words put together. I've got a rap album that represents each point of my life. I've got rap albums that I could sit in front of you and say, this is exactly how I felt at this time, put into words that I can't construct. I can't.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino's Camp is the soundtrack to my freshman year of college. Good Kid, Mad City, sophomore year.
Section 80.
Section 80, that was senior year of high school during the summer. All summer, I listened to that album over and over and over. I've learned about myself through rap music.
Yeah.
I've learned about my people through rap music. I've learned about my values through rap music. Rap music is not just some genre. It is more to that. It is more than that. Way more. Leave it alone. I don't know what the hell you talking about. And to Chad asked, why do you think the message has changed in hip hop today? You know, I think I disagree that the message in rap has changed. Again, I think it is still everything that it was, you know, going into the 90s, you know, where we had gangster rap like NWA, but we also had a Tribe Called Quest and, you know, Q-Tip and Talib and Mos and all these very wordy, thoughtful rappers who put things in different terms than a gangster rapper would, with all the same power and effectiveness in getting their point across. I think it's same old shit with a new coat of paint. I think they were breaking NWA CDs in 1988. I think the key difference now is we don't have CD stores anymore. That kind of war is waged on Twitter and Instagram, and it's very effective.
It's a war that can be won.
It's a very effective method, but I think long term, ultimately, and me and you talked about this.
Yeah,
this is why it's important to have your own shit, black folks. Your own festivals, right?
We don't have many.
We don't.
We don't have many.
We don't. Why are all the rap acts being represented at predominantly white festivals?
Lollapalooza.
The rodeos.
Caucasians as far as the eye can see.
Coachella.
And again, not that white people cannot enjoy and love and appreciate hip hop.
Not saying that,
but I know when you care and appreciate this culture based on a couple sentences out of your face. I know. Anyway. All right. I think that's all I had.
Cherry picking rap. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's that's been my big beef with, like, I don't know, man. Like, this is a totally different subject, but the amount of white girls I see use the N-word with so much comfort
because they had sex with a black guy one time.
Yeah, or they're currently with a black dude.
Yeah.
Right.
And they've somehow use their powers of persuasion to make him think he can't say anything about it.
I wish you would. I wish you would, Sarah.
I swear to God. But I mean, that's like the most icky version of what you're talking about. But even there, I've noticed this sort of I call it by a lot of white folks from the suburbs. they want to have a backstory that's like violent.
Yeah.
And that's edgy.
Sounds cool.
Right.
Yeah. This is why the white
They like
white
accents.
Kids, yeah. That's why the
I
white
had to
kids
say
in
something the other
suburbs
day,
love
man.
rap.
And
that's why they jumped to it the first time. Yeah, WA was the most popular
Yeah, they were.
at that time.
yeah.
The edge that they brought.
Instantly.
People like that Scarface shit.
Mm-hmm.
People love that Godfather shit.
Ghetto
Well,
Boys, all that stuff was extremely popular at that time.
Well, music was never supposed to be just some sort of. It was always supposed to hit a different way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, regardless of the topics, you were supposed to get right down where the shit hits the Tennessee Williams, where the shit hits the fan, as they say.
Yeah.
Hit your soul.
Anyway, all right. I guess that's all I had to say on the matter. Cole, you want to go, man?
Yeah, man. I got.
You up, dog? Go ahead, man.
Let's talk about creatures.
Yeah.
Animals,
One
man.
of my favorite
Nature,
topics.
man.
Yeah, me and my nephew.
Evolution,
Hey,
man.
when my nephew come visit, man,
Uh-huh.
oh man, we going to see all the animals, man. I'm gonna take him horseback riding. I'm gonna take him to the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should drive down to San Diego.
I'm gonna take him to the tar pit.
I'm
so
gonna
we
give
can
you
go
one
see
good thing.
A saber-tooth
Don't go
tiger.
to the zoo during the summer, so just make sure it's like during the
Okay,
winter
yeah,
time
you're
because
right.
you're gonna be burning up.
Oh, me and my nephew gonna have a great time,
Yeah.
man. We both love animals, man.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like last time I was home, he was showing me nature videos
Huh.
for Christmas,
Yeah,
and I was like, man, this is cool. My nephew's showing me stuff now.
Mhm.
he's gonna be all right, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway, all right, go ahead, man.
Okay, so every conversation every boy has ever had in the backyard about their favorite animals, who would kick whose ass, you know.
Yeah.
If the T-Rex fought the Spinosaurus Egypticus, which one would win?
Yeah.
We know from Jurassic Park 3 that the Spinosaurus has a bigger growl.
I mean, I
And-
kind
and
of think the
longer
T-Rex. I think I'd take the T-Rex on the Spinosaurus.
You would still
man.
take the.
Spinosaurus got arms,
It's got the
more
arms. It's got
arms.
the longer.
but the T-Rex has the strongest bite force in the history of the animal planet. One bite, that's it.
Right, and the T-Rex is always fighting. You know, we don't know that the Spinosaurus did that. They just put that in Jurassic Park.
Right? Yeah, the Spinosaurus.
3.
Spinosaurus was one of the first like fishing
Basically, it was.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They'd sit over the water with that long ass snout and just wait.
Yeah, there's a possibility on land they weren't as
Not
Right.
as fearsome
Yeah,
as
right.
it
right.
makes it
Right,
seem.
their testosterone
Yeah.
might
Right.
not be like the T-Rex.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
very high testosterone. in
I don't
the
even think
T-Rex.
there's a way we can measure that, but we all know they're like the bull sharks of the day.
They are.
Okay, so I have a 3-tier system for animals. Okay, and these qualities don't actually make things better or worse than each other, but they're all around what is the most impressive creature. So
Okay.
my brain tells me that humans are the pinnacle of evolution.
Yeah.
But the universe also says that too. So we have to go into a parallel world today.
Okay.
And we have to delete knowledge.
Okay.
Assume there is no such thing as a human being. Boy, the planet's enjoying this. But assume that's the case. What animals would be the top of the food chain? Which
Well-
ones would dominate the hierarchies in every class?
Okay.
But let me give my 3-tier system real quick.
Okay. Okay.
Intelligence, longevity, meaning, when's the last time it went through a major microevolution? If it was 100 million years ago, that's a pretty good metric that they've reached their evolutionary peak.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other creatures have. But anyway, so longevity, intelligence, and the last one's dominance. How do they terraform the areas in which they're in? I'm not saying that that's the best way you should be, but it's not about violence. Even trees and plants and the birds and the bees, they do this too.
Yeah.
It's not all about violence, but it is a domination because it is parts of nature, namely soil, that are organic but not living, that life finds a way down inside of.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is, do I have to pick one specific animal or can I pick a family?
No. I want you to pick just which ones come to your mind.
Okay. Three different families come to mind. The crocodilian family, which includes crocodiles, of course, but also alligators and caimans and the
Yes.
different kinds of crocs, alligators, and caimans. They hit the pinnacle of their evolution tens of millions of years ago and have not evolved since then, which means they didn't need to. They've survived 2 or 3 mass extinction events. Meteorite hits the planet, everything dies except the crocodiles and the sharks. Oldest living species we have is the shark, and they go back, I think, definitely tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of years. The shark does. So as far as longevity, the sharks got it as far as oldest species we have. And also, if we're talking about dominance, there hasn't really been a point in our history in which sharks didn't dominate the sea for the overwhelming majority, except for, once again, my third family, the cetacean family. Whales, dolphins, orcas, all of those. Them motherfuckers can't be beat.
No.
They're the only thing in the sea that can kick a shark's ass, and they do regularly. And they also seem to be a little sociopathic in that they're intelligent enough to know what they're doing. There's videos of orcas beaching themselves, grabbing a seal by the tail,
flinging them back out.
It back into the water. Seal tries to get back on shore. It's a killer whale. It's thousands of pounds, 10 times the size of a seal. It keeps dragging it back out to the young orcas for them to practice hunting seals, which must be the most terrifying thing in the history of terrifying if you're a seal. I mean, my God.
No, you're not even about to go out.
You're not going to make it out.
No, you're not going to make it out, but you're not going to go out quickly either.
No.
You're getting fed to children.
You're being used for practice, too. They're not just going to feed you to it. That would be fine. Just off me, please.
Right.
It's every time you're getting a little bit of escape, and then, oh, God, there's something else.
There's even videos of dolphins doing like a tail slap thing that they do.
Yeah, for stingrays and stuff.
Yeah. And they will launch a stingray 20 feet into the air with a tail slap, and it hits the water, and then it's all disoriented because it just got the shit slapped out of it. And then they do it again. They play. Beluga whales, there's videos on YouTube of people throwing footballs into the ocean, and beluga whale will go get it, bring it back.
Out and come back. Yeah.
So intelligence, longevity, and dominance, right now, I think I've convinced myself to go with the cetacean family. They hit all 3 the best.
Okay.
That's my answer.
You got one, Victor? What animal you going with, man?
Well, originally I was gonna go with orcas, but
I mean, it ain't got to be alive right now, man. I can't fault the dinosaurs because of the goddamn asteroid.
Nigga Chad said a possum.
A possum? Hey, they are resilient.
They do have some longevity.
They've been around.
I watched this quick story. I watched this fool Chad. There was a possum outside in the middle of the day, and of course it was playing dead. And this dude beat this. I shouldn't even say this on the air because if Peter might come after us.
Too late. Start.
He killed the shit out of that possum. I was like, yo, it's dead. He was like, you sure?
It's still.
It might still be playing dead.
I still see a twitch.
Wham! Wham!
Still twitching a little bit.
Wham! Right. Chad, you've been hitting that thing for 30 minutes. It's gone. No, man, you got to make sure it's possum. They play dead. Wham! Wham!
I think that's a piece of his brain over there. No.
No, it's
Still
faking. They know how to do that. They know how to take out a piece of their brain. They do.
They are natural Daniel Day-Lewis's. We had a lot of possums and opossums, both of them there in Sabine Pass, Texas.
Yeah. Method action.
They are.
Possums, man.
Oh, they stay in character, man.
Oh, man.
Sometimes you can go back into your house and the possum will still pretend to play dead for 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's why Chad beat that one for for half an hour.
Gonna make sure.
All right, so
that poor possum just going,
in his hand. All right, Victor, did you have an answer?
Let's see. So, what's gonna be a good one? Bring it off. No, actually, I think I don't know why I want to go with the roach.
The roach?
Roach is not bad, actually. For longevity, definitely not intelligence. But for longevity, definitely.
They've been around for
a long time, yeah. Insects are younger. The entire insect family is younger than the shark family. All of them. They all came along later, which I think is interesting.
Right. No, this is certainly interesting.
Yeah. Go ahead, Cole. What you got?
Oh,
What do you
man.
think?
So, two things. Dominance can also be just what it accomplishes, not necessarily in a vacuum who would win in a one-on-one fight.
Right.
Because the orca, I think it's tough to beat the orca.
Yeah.
But I would argue that the elephant family,
Okay.
got a lot of respect for the elephant family.
Mm.
The biggest problem the elephant family has is humans,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And again, since humans don't exist in this world, we get to have this conversation.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
If we were in the water, orcas would be in trouble. So this is the way I see it.
Yeah.
It's just part of our nature.
It is interesting. I went all water or aquatic animals.
Right.
Basically, animals we don't have as much access.
Right. No, it's a
to.
pure
Yeah.
example too.
Yeah.
But I would argue on land, though, the elephant, in the absence of other alpha predators, I'd say the elephant is an incredible creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes memory's better than human memory.
Yeah.
Yep.
In terms of just photographic imaging, and they have an ability just to kind of smell the air,
Mhm.
and they can pick up scents that hit parts of their neurology that go back 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And we
We
talking
can't remember
about-
things like that.
Mm.
Right.
If you smelled an orange when you were 3, maybe people with incredible memory, or maybe it was a profound moment in your life, you can bring that
Reach back
back
to
up in
that.
some sort
Yeah.
of in some sort of approach,
Yeah.
like in a meditation or something. But again, elephants just do this.
Okay.
Do this naturally.
I'm not mad at that. Take it all.
Mhm.
And the elephant, I watched a video the other day of an elephant. A crocodile decided to try it,
Yeah.
and he just stomped his head.
Yep.
7 or 8 times.
That was it.
And the crocodile's head was so far down in the mud that it was just sticking up in the air.
Stomped a mud hole in his ass.
Yeah, bro. And it just walked off, and it just blew air out of its
Yeah.
tusk.
Yeah. It
Like
was.
It was like this big idiot. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know what he
was
thought was going to happen here. And it was one of those big, like, African elephants
Yeah.
that we seen on that video where that guy was in the pool, and they were like, bloody hell,
Yeah. Yeah. Elephants are pretty incredible, man.
They are.
Very intelligent. Very dominant.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd put
And-
it against the orca in 3 foot of water.
3 foot water.
Yeah, you probably
Yeah.
win that.
I want to see that orca try to slide up on that elephant like he did that seal. That elephant, I got your ass, boy.
Wham,
They get
wham,
that
just
tusk down in
stomping that
Oh,
motherfucker.
man.
Interesting development with the elephant that's being observed right now is, and we were talking about the intentionality of evolution during the week, or maybe there is some intention behind evolution, because some animals,
Teleology, yeah.
right? Some animals evolve, others don't.
Yeah.
Most of them have died off. Most species on this planet have died off. But the elephant is more and more they're observing male elephants in the wild with no tusks. Not that they had them removed, they've been born without them. So they're beginning to. The number one killer of elephants is humans
ivory.
killing them for their
Yeah.
tusk,
Yeah.
cutting their tusks off. And now their male elephants are beginning to be born without tusks at all, which is interesting, right? Like,
Right.
how did that start to happen over the course of, a few generations? They stopped developing tusks. That's not supposed to work that way. We've
Right.
still got nipples. Human males still have nipples.
Yeah.
We have nothing to do with them. They serve zero function, and we still haven't dropped them yet as a species, right? And elephants drop their tusks in the course of a few generations. That's pretty incredible. But anyway, yeah, I'm not mad at the elephant take, man. I'm not mad. Very smart
Very smart.
beasts.
Mm-hmm.
They very rarely get taken down by anything after they've
all.
hit puberty.
Yeah.
Even just puberty.
And for a warm-blooded creature, they've survived a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks about the woolly mammoth. Well, all those other elephant species were alive during the Ice Age, too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And most of them survived. They
Yeah.
didn't go extinct. So, I don't know. A lot of people tend to think of the woolly mammoth as this perfect creature to survive the Ice Age, but it was the elephant that didn't make it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a weird... I think when you don't believe in evolution, you come up with crazy ideas.
Yeah.
That's all that is. But anyway, so the elephant is one. The other one would be... I really do think that birds, many living birds, are... At one point in time, they would have ran on the ground and would have been dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yes.
And many of them
Would have.
took on, evolution forced that species not into an oblivion or into an extinction event, although that happened for a lot of creatures, it pushed them into the air so they can cover more ground quicker.
Yeah.
Because there was just, if you were in an area where there was no new things to eat, that was problematic. And if everything was burning and you had to be up in the trees, and there's no good reason to be on the ground. Anyway, that forced the evolution of dinosaurs, which many of them already had feathers. We found several fossils that have clear imprints of feathers on them. So I'd say birds, man.
Okay.
The parrots, the higher parrots and macaws, extremely impressive. And the crow is incredible. And again, its number one enemies are humans. They're smart enough to deal with higher predators. They know how to deal with that situation, even though on the dominance scale, you would say that they're not nearly as high as the elephant. But I would argue that apparently the parrots are extremely territorial, and they're very successful with the way that they train their young, vocal commands, body language, all the way up to like training for sexual selection. How do you go get mates? Like hanging around. Certain species do this, specifically like the crow, for example, or the raven, same subspecies. They do this. And you'll actually see the raven pick up a stick, and he will play some music in order to impress the girl. Right?
Yeah.
This does happen.
Man, that even works in the animal kingdom. I should have learned to play guitar or some
right.
shit.
And that goes back to Simon Conway Morris. Music is the when you're touching music, you've touched something, that only a handful of species are tapped into.
Convergent evolution, man. Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like I should also give some love to the chimpanzee, of course.
Yes.
Right.
If we're talking intelligence, we got to go chimp.
The primates.
Yeah.
Then we got Chad said hippo.
Chad said hippo. Now hippos are
dangerous.
They're assholes for sure.
Hippos are the number one killer of people.
Yes.
The number one killer of people as far as animals go in Africa. Hippos take out more people every year, and they don't eat people.
No.
They eat grass they eat, they're herbivores.
Yeah.
They just clap you and put you on a T-shirt. Rest in peace, Johnny. And then they go back to doing what hippos are the only ones that'll run up on a group of crocodiles, African crocodiles, the 20-foot long ones.
What is he doing here?
And be like, y'all better move y'all ass. I know that much. Y'all better bust a move out here. Cause
you see the mirror start twitching in the back.
No, when you see that yawn from a hippo when they go like that.
Oh, yeah.
Run. And you might not get away because
before you even see that, when you see them halfway put that glimpse over the water,
get out of there.
The mirror start flipping.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Videos of hippos eating those big watermelons and just crushing them.
Oh man,
they're very satisfying.
Bite.
Yes.
One bite. Yeah. Hippos are gangsters, man. Zero fear and incredibly aggressive.
But Chad, the elephant would back that son of a bitch back down in the water.
Hippo can't fuck with an elephant. Yeah,
I've seen that battle a couple times.
Yeah.
It's incredible how much footage you can just find on YouTube. A lot of this with cameras the way they are now, so accessible to even tourists. We got footage of stuff that we never thought we would capture.
Yep.
Weird behavior where these crazy moments happen. A crocodile runs into a bull shark.
Yep.
There's a video of that on YouTube. That's crazy.
There's plenty of videos of hippos and rhinos getting into it because they're too stupid to walk away. So somebody usually gets injured. Yes. They don't kill each other, but they injure each other and die 2 days later of infection.
Any species that rams you with its brain,
not smart.
Yes. Right. I'm going to use that phrase instead of head because it makes it sound like, oh, maybe their brains are in their kidneys. No, no, they were born with a concussion.
Yes.
Okay?
Right. Very stupid. Rams, goats, all those very, very dumb animals.
Rhinos.
Not a fan.
Yes.
Bulls. At least rhinos have the excuse that they're mostly blind.
Right.
So if they get anything in their peripheral and they ain't sure what it is,
they just go at it.
Right. And they've got the strength. They're built a little different.
Yeah.
I've seen them flip like F-150s like it's nothing.
Did you see that video? I think it was it a rhino? Yeah, I think it was a rhino, and it was like chilling, and a warthog got too close to it.
Yeah, I seen
and
that one.
And it just in one swoop got its
Launched
horn
it.
underneath that warthog and did like that. That thing.
It was going off a video for a good little while.
It was a good 5-10 seconds before that warthog hit the ground, and it hit the ground, hopped up, and took off running. Like, damn, that was so disrespectful.
I did see Nature is Metal on Instagram, and if you guys want to see, nature versus nature, and listen, I actually love the Gaia, the blissful side of nature, just as much.
Yeah,
but we have to be nature and grace. There's these two things that go together here.
Yes,
and part of nature is evolution, and evolution and means some sort of entropy, some sort of death process for another creature, even if it's a blade of grass being eaten by the cow in the fields. So anyway, I seen on Nature is Metal, I seen I think I told you about this. It was a bison. See, the bison, or it was an elk, one of them. The elephant had actually stuck its tusk all the way through back out the shoulder.
Fuck.
You know what kind of force? Because that's not like those tusks are extremely sharp.
Oh.
Right.
That would go, I mean,
really dull on the
think
ends.
about that.
They are dull on the end. Yeah.
You know,
And to go through either a bison or an elk.
Yeah, it was one of these big,
like,
those are some thick boys,
Jesus, man.
Those are some thick boys.
That's
right
crazy.
There, man. Yeah.
And it lifted it up and then slid it off the tusk.
I think one of my favorite things about nature is I feel like it speaks to that fine tuning theory. The slightest, the slightest thing introduced to an environment can completely destroy it. Completely. Yes. Even introducing one animal that's not supposed to be there will. I mean, the entire state of Florida is overrun with anacondas and anacondas or pythons.
Both, I think.
Both. That's crazy as hell, because somebody got one and was like, "This thing is getting too expensive. I gotta feed it like."
The feds are after me. I gotta let this motherfucker go.
Go drop it off in the Everglades, and now there's a war going on between the pythons, the crocs.
Yeah.
Crocs are alligators, gators. Pythons, gators, and
there's crocodiles down there too.
And crocs. Jesus.
Invasive crocs. Yeah.
Hell no.
You know, that just kind of hit something with me. But
snakeheads too. Snakeheads, man.
Snakeheads too. Yeah.
You watched Hunter v Hunter. I'm sorry, Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, the anime. Yeah.
I didn't realize this, but now it's just starting to hit me. The whole chimera ants was actually from like a whole nother nation that was introduced to the island and took over the entire island.
Right.
That just kind of hit like something for me with.
Right.
I just finished it up.
It's like an invasive species story that they tell. It's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fine line.
The diseases too.
Environment. Yes.
Yes.
We humans aren't the only ones that get viruses, guys. Anyway, continue.
So. Yep. So, any other animals? Yeah, man, I love nature. I also think it reveals a lot about the human condition. I think the objectivity of nature, it doesn't care. Its only concern is, well, actually, it has no concern. Nature does what it does, regardless of the animals that live within its environment. But oftentimes, nature is still dependent on those animals to the same degree that they're dependent on the environment. You know, certain animals they consume. You know, giraffes will consume leaves from the top of a tree, and then when they take a dump, that's how the new trees grow. Right? It's constant death in life happening. The circle of life.
There you go.
Circle of life. Shout out to Lion King, man. Shout out to them.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
And we're talking about animated Lion King, not the
CGI horse shit. No, the real one.
Think about it like this: an invasive species is a species that could very well have been disconnected from that particular part of the evolutionary tree for over 50 million years, and you just, as they say in Jurassic Park, you just threw them back into the balance with each other.
Right. I saw a video about like resurrecting extinct species.
That's a crazy idea. I really do think.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think
it's moral either. Right. Because from what I understand, even our best clones only live like 2 or 3 years. There's too many genetic problems. Although we've come a long ways, we're not nearly as far along with that program as I think, we are in other scientific endeavors.
Yeah, they were trying to.
DNA is a complex business.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they were trying to use woolly mammoth DNA to create an embryo that they were going to implant into a modern day elephant.
Yeah, to
and
be
then
able to
let
birth
it
it.
give
Yeah.
birth to this woolly mammoth. And I was like, what are y'all gonna do with it after that?
Mm-hmm.
Drop it in Antarctica, because that's pretty much the only environment it would be suited for. Maybe that might not even be cold enough anymore. It's warming up. So what are you gonna do with this woolly mammoth?
Yeah.
I think they're
Stick it in a giant freezer?
no, more than likely they're going to assume that woolly mammoth and the next 1,000 woolly mammoths they clone are going to be die pretty soon. You know, they're not going to guess their diet.
Mm-mm.
Right.
They're going to feed it something and it's going to get some allergy.
Yep.
Because of course it is. This is not even good
Right.
science fiction. This is just mere curiosity.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good
Yeah.
idea. Last thing, I suppose, Chad asked, we're talking about, the purpose that every piece of the environment serves. He says, what does a mosquito help with?
Mosquitoes.
What does a mosquito help with? I mean,
Did we? Well, hang one second, Chad. We didn't use the word purpose.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
I say this
Not
because I
purpose,
do think there is there's sharks. There are there are vampires in the system,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there I'm sure there are systems that aren't. You can't.
So,
Yeah.
we can get rid of the mosquitoes if we could
Right.
just cause them to go extinct.
I almost said something earlier, man. When you said the hippos have killed more people in Africa. Well, yes, but no.
But mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes, Mosquitoes, man.
Yeah.
Chad, I you're probably getting bit by one right now as we
Yes.
speak, man.
Sorry, man.
Oh,
He just
man.
went, you know what? What's these motherfuckers?
Dang, so
What do
there's
they
no
got?
Jurassic
What-
Park then.
Get rid of these guys.
Yeah.
Get rid of mosquitoes. There's no Jurassic Park then.
Get rid of mosquitoes, y'all. That's what we need to do, y'all.
Man.
We need to get rid of the mosquitoes, y'all.
Oh, I'd also argue too. The purpose argument I would
Yeah.
make though is that I think that baked into the universe is a moral structure, a moral grammar, as Martin Luther King would say,
Mhm.
and that the drama, the theater of life is necessary for a complete understanding of your morality is based on depth of what you should not like and what is distasteful and what is bad. You know, the knowledge of good and evil
Yeah.
casts you from the garden.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect place to pin it.
Mm-hmm.
That was very well said, sir. Good point. Real fast, United
hit.
States basketball team won gold. I talked a lot of shit about them 2 weeks ago, so I feel like I should acknowledge that. Good job, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Le GM is back.
Anyway, Le GM has made a strong return. He's completely
Back
redone
at
the
work.
Lakers roster for the third offseason in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I like the roster outside of one decision.
Oh, who's that?
Russell Westbrook. How Russell Westbrook and LeBron James are supposed to be
gonna
on a
work.
court together,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You-
Who's gonna go post up in the corner?
Neither one of them can shoot free throws either.
Nope.
That's another problem. They're going to, you know how many foul calls? They're going to go right at AD and they're going to go right at Russell Westbrook and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think people are going to be very disappointed.
Yeah. I think they're definitely a playoff team, but I'm gonna call a second round exit right now, depending on who they see.
Yeah.
But second round.
Who gets
exit.
more triple doubles?
Mm.
Russ or LeBron?
Yeah.
Russ.
Do you think there's a possibility they fight over meaningless rebounds in a game?
I think it's. I don't think they're gonna make it to the trade deadline without us hearing and also on the court seeing some spats between those two. I cannot see those two getting along.
Right.
Unless, like everybody's saying, Russell Westbrook decided to bend the knee, so to speak. He ain't bent the knee yet in 13-year career.
To
He
nobody.
didn't bend the knee to Kevin Durant
Nope.
or James Harden
Nope.
or anybody.
A prime Kevin Durant.
A prime Kevin Durant. So, we got 15 years of evidence on this matter. I think we should trust history. But maybe he will. I don't know. I doubt it, though.
Oh, King
Yeah.
James. He's going to take his throne, man.
Old Goat James.
Go James.
Old Goat James. It's a
And
real
one last
goat.
thing, Kanye dropped the album.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said
Please.
he dropped the
No,
album.
he
but-
ain't dropped the album.
Yeah, Kanye's doing this thing with his albums all
Yeah, I'm
over again.
just-
Where
I'm-
he's
Oh, you
like,
mean he's
I'm
not
done.
doing the album? Right.
Well, he's supposed to
He's-
have dropped it. There have been two events.
Yes.
A listening
Right.
party 2 listening parties.
He's done 2 listening parties. The first one, he stood around and played music as people are saying they can barely hear it.
Yeah, said he was going to drop the album and didn't.
Did
come out.
not.
So, you know, Kanye's going through some stuff. Again.
Decided to live in Mercedes-Benz arena for the time being.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to pray for Kanye, y'all.
Yeah.
He's struggling again.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I want to hear the album,
everybody does
especially with
at this
Griselda.
point.
Griselda and Kanye, I need that to happen yesterday.
Yeah. But
Anyway, all right, folks.
see y'all later.
Have a good night, guys.
Y'all take care. Follow us,
Yes.
subscribe, like the stuff.
Mhm.
Outside In, THTR on Instagram. Shout out to the good folks at Outside In Theater for helping us out. Shout out to Paul. We appreciate you guys' help. And, one last thing. We're going to be moving soon. So we are going to go all the way up to the last Saturday of this month.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be taking a break. We haven't decided on exactly how long that's going to be, probably 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. And then we'll get back to it. So, yeah, we'll be off for that amount of time while we get moved and get settled in a new place and get everything set up. We're going to have to redo the whole studio thing. And then we'll be back to you mid to late September.
Yeah, no.
Sounds good.